Hello everybody, Christian from Treasure Town here, and thankfully the seal is not broken, but we are going to check the contents and see what's inside. I think it's $1,920 of mostly graded world coins. We're going to be hoping, I forget exactly what I bought for some better types and, interesting items inside. Only one way to find out, and we'll start by with the, opening it up. I think there's probably like 30 coins inside. And I just took everything out of the package. It has a ton of packaging that was going to be a real hassle in showing off. And I think this stuff is going to work out pretty well, but I'm curious to see your thoughts. This first is a batch of 6 8 real coins, all in relatively nice shape. Here, that looks like the Potosi Mint in Bolivia from the Spanish colonial time frame. And it's got a big hit across the face, but I think that these are going to be popular. They're really early coins. There's Ferdinand, and just such nice detail. Lima Mint, solid condition. I'm very pleased with this batch. On the whole, there's an 1821, also from Potosi in Bolivia, and there's a ton of different mint marks that you can collect. Charles IV was known. He really didn't have good control. Bolivian coin here, from Lima, over his, the Spanish Empire. That his advisor was rumored to be involved with the Queen. And really, the downfall happened during that portion as he abdicates basically in favor of Ferdinand VII, but really more so because Napoleon Bonaparte puts in his brother, I think it's Joseph Bonaparte, as like the King of Spain. This is a little batch of all the same coin. It's these Specimen 70. That's this cool. I don't know what that 50 means. It's probably some sort of like a anniversary, or it's these 1 rand silver 1 ounce coins, but they're all Specimen 70 strikes. And there's a lot of different debates around, is modern bullion product, like how valuable or how much of a premium should it collect, and I don't shy away from those debates, but I felt like there was a good enough price here where the comps on these are pretty high. I mean, they're going to be a lot more than 1 ounce of silver, and so I was confident to purchase these ones with the expectation of, trying to flip them at a profitable price. So that was those. Let's get into the more numismatic and interesting coins from my perspective. We'll start with this Filipino peso coin, which is graded Mint State 65. It's very reminiscent of the U.S. It's actually struck in the U.S. We see the S San Francisco mint mark showing Douglas MacArthur, sort of in the classic medallic style that was popular back then. Defender and liberator. He was a huge liberator of the Philippines from Japan. There was a lot of activity over there. Obviously, the U.S. had won the Philippine control, and here's a 50-cent coin from the Spanish following the Spanish-American War in 1898, and then we relinquished control after World War II as a Commonwealth. We had the Manila Mint over there. It was a big part of America. But here's a 50% silver Mint State 65 Bermudan crown. Interesting portrait of the island. We have an XF45. Nice brown copper coin here. Canada halfpenny token before they had a federal coinage. At this point, it was a province of Canada. They didn't have a national currency, and so they would use tokens and different types of currency as a stand-in because they were under the British control fully at that point. Here we have a Nova Scotian penny as well. That was yet another province within Canada. 1 cent, Nova Scotia. Here is a more modern Canadian one. I'm not sure. I don't think 1946 is even a better date or anything, but it is a pretty coin. I feel like I paid right around the what it would cost to grade these to purchase them. Actually, that's not true. A little bit more than that. So it's a little curious that these all ended up graded, but it was probably some sort of a typeset that somebody was excited about putting together, and the coins are going to all have nice true views, which is awesome. I mean, those just look phenomenal, and obviously cost a fair amount, but I've heard that the reason that they require, and a true view is like a PCGS photo, it's very helpful for them because PCGS can charge a little bit more for it, but they also have a little bit less, knowledge around fakes on the world coins. So by photoing everything, they're able to maintain their guarantee and feel better about the coins that they're grading. So they have a big library of what a potential fake coin might look like, and maybe even they would then be able to go back and authenticate and catch any errors. There's some really good coins in this stack. I kind of want to flip it over. I actually don't remember any of the, outside of that AU50 I will remember, of the grades on these items, so I'm going to try to do some spot grading with you, just for fun, because I don't have tons of commentary. This is going to be a 2 Pfennig. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so that you can see and also I can see. I don't think that there's any wear on this coin, but I'm not sure. I don't think it's a particularly nice looking coin, so I'm going to guess that it's mint state 62, potentially 63, but I wouldn't be shocked if it was AU58. And I was wrong. It's a mint state 64 brown German coin, so I was off by 2 grades there. We'll see if I can get a little bit better here. This is going to be a Nazi Germany aluminum coin. And again, I can't tell if there's a touch of wear like on some of the, in which case I would imagine that it was AU58, or I would think it's like also kind of a 63 range. Probably go, I feel like there's, but it's tough. The aluminum is very, it's not the easiest. I just feel like there's a lot of scratches that are more wear than like as made. So if we said 58, okay, that is going to be a 58. That's good. We'll see this next one. This I remember being a pretty rare one. It's not a details coin, which is awesome. It is the Oak Tree 5 mark. It's a pretty rare coin. Beautiful German artistry. I'm going to guess on this. Maybe I just saw. I don't think I saw. I was going to guess AU58 on this. Let's see what they say. There's a little bit of a spot back there. Mint state 62. So again, I was off. It's interesting on US coins at PCGS, if it's, market, nice eye appeal, they'll often grade something 62 that has wear like old gold. There's a little bit of a scratch across the back of this. I think that will limit it from being anything more than my guess is either 4 or 5. I'm going to go 4 on this one. And it is a 5. Interesting. Nice little 1 mark. That's right. A lot of these were in good condition because after World War I was over, Weimar Republic happened. They didn't circulate for very long, so many of those are in pretty nice shape. That one looks pretty good to me. If the earlier one was a 64, I would guess that this is also going to be a 64 1900 1 Pfennig. 62? No way. Okay, so I was inverse. I was wrong. I feel like that one looks sharper, but maybe the luster isn't quite there. And it shows I really need to get back in the grading room. Here's an interesting coin, 1875 50 Pfennig. The number that immediately comes to my mind, but again, it's actually kind of worn down back there. I would say like VF30 on it, and I'm really pleased. It is a VF30, and I promise I didn't see that one before. It just looks like an even amount of wear. I was going to originally say 35 or 40. When you look at some of the detail there, it's definitely flattened out, but it's a really pleasing condition. And it's also, that doesn't really give me much of a right to talk. I've been pretty bad so far today. This one I would say AU55, and it is, again, I didn't see it. I can, in my line of sight, I can immediately focus, but I didn't, cheat. I promise on that one. I think the back, it actually didn't seem super worn. Maybe some of the tips of the eagle feathers, but I was just thinking like all through the hair, and it's not like that, like a gorgeous AU58 type of a deal. This one I might remember what the grade is on it from when I purchased it, so let me know what you guys think. And I do the what I had in my head was right, so I'm not going to give a grade estimate, but I remembered what the grade was on it. So it's going to be an XF45. Still has some level of luster. This is an early Prussian coin, so before World War I, the German Empire formed in 1871. There were all these different states that would strike coinage, and so this one was, Prussia was the largest German state. This is King Wilhelm II, and that's who was issuing this with the German Imperial Eagle on the reverse of it. This coin, you can immediately tell it's going to be genuine, not gradable because of the hole through it, but this is before the German unification, Ein Vereinsstaler. If we look at it, condition-wise, I'm thinking XF, possibly VF details, but I would say XF, and that's going to be the case. Here's Wilhelm König, like, as the king of Prussia. a nice portrait of him. I'm actually not sure what this is worth. I forget what I, bought it as and am viewing it as. Here, there's a lot of flatness on this coin. It's an 1819. It's earlier taller. This is a Prussian type as well, but super, super flat eagle's breast and sort of detail in the cannon. On this side, I don't see anything. Well, actually, it's kind of cheating. Oh, it says genuine, not gradable, so it's not cheating. I was going to say that I didn't see anything that would make this coin, like, not gradable. Maybe they're saying that that is a little scratch. I would have called this, like, a VF20, and it's going to be scratch VF detail. So I guess, that scratch right across the face is not going to be a die crack. It's just, and a die crack is basically if they're striking a bunch of coins, eventually the die wears down a little bit, and you can get some cracks in the metal that surface, but they would have been able to tell this apparently is not going to be erased. If it's like, if the crack happens in the die, then when they strike it, there's going to be raised metal, versus a scratch that's going to go into the coin and raise like 2 ridges on each side of the scratch. This last one, 1908 5 Mark, Freien Hansestadt, Hamburg. It's like the free Hanseatic city of Hamburg, I think. This one I'm going to call a 53, and it just seems like you can still see the luster, but it's a little bit more muted even than the 55 was. And it's going to be AU50. I guess I got a little bit better as the day went on. I actually enjoyed that, and I should have done the same. Honestly, I forget a lot of the grades on these. I kind of want to test it, at least on these last ones. That one looks like a quick check, I would say 3. It's going to be a 64 red brown. This one looks a little bit nicer. I would say 5, based off the last one being a 4. And it's also going to be a 4. This one I forget. I think there's some black spots, though, on the bottom. Maybe it's a 3. And then this one I remember that's AU58. Anyways, I thought that this was a very good batch. I mean, if you think about 1920, like if you subtract, well, it's probably about right for a bulk purchase. It might be tough. I'll have to like stretch to get retail on this stuff, and like I would plan on selling all of these coins retail. I'm not going to wholesale any of it, or I wouldn't profit by selling it to a dealer, but I would look to place it with collectors who want it to, to buy it cheaper than they could find on eBay. That's really the sweet spot that I've been trying to attack. And who knows, maybe someday I'll be buying lots of coins and have the customer base to sell stuff at eBay prices. But for now, those are the coins. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you thought of the price. Thanks for watching the video. Make sure to head on over to treasuretown.com and sign up for our email list to stay up to date on everything that's happening, whether it's auction updates, exciting new inventory drops, coin collecting news, or general informational resources. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on another one.